welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another home decor video. So for today's video, I'm gonna show you how I transform my wall shelf from a really boring and very unfinished wall shelf that we have in the house. I have those three black frames that I haven't really got into putting pictures in it. So I figure holiday is coming. I know I just posted my revamp of my living room for fall, but fall season really come and goes. It's like snowy outside already and holiday season is coming up. So after Halloween, we usually just switch our decor into Christmas. That's why I didn't really spend a lot of time and money on my fall decorations, because I know it will just go by quickly as that. So we want to experience the holiday decor in our house for a little bit longer time than just the December. So we put up our decorations early this year just to kind of have that moment and vibe and feel to our home. So that's why we put up our decorations early. For the DIY project that I'm going to show you today, it will be a DIY farmhouse Christmas decor piece. This is a Christmas sign that I purchased from Etsy, and they're really cool. You could purchase them for a really inexpensive price. You could go Staples or wherever that you could print it off. And what I did, I built my own frame just to put up those sign up on my shelf, and I'm really happy of how it turned out. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and move on to the video. I hope you guys like this video, and if you do, give this video a thumbs up for more DIY. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you on my next one. Bye! Check out the Etsy store where I got all these signs. I'm gonna put the handle down here. For Instagram, you could check out his design. I also got a pre-cut wood from Home Depot and a sheet of plywood. These are all pre-cut that you could just grab from a hardware store. And I'm gonna use those materials to make my DIY frames. So I basically just measure the height and the width of the sign that I have, and then make a mark on the plywood sheets. I also did the same thing on the pre-cut wood, but I do not suggest you do this because it's really hard for a person who's gonna cut your wood to figure out what you want to do. But if you want to cut it yourself, you could probably get away with it. But I suggest take a measurement of the length of your sign and also the width, and measure those measurements on your wood instead of just marking where to cut it if you're not gonna be the one who's gonna cut your woods, because it will be hard for them to figure out what you want to do. But how I did mine, I just make a line on every piece of wood that I have, and my husband got really mad at me because he didn't know what I want to do. So I suggest make a measurements of everything and mark the measurements on your wood. That way you will save a lot of wood pieces for your project as well. So after all the woods are cut, I'm gonna stain it with Varathane wood stain in, I think this is in Jackal Bean. And if you want a more darker finish on the wood, let the stain stick to it for a little bit longer so that it could penetrate more into the wood. But I kind of want just a little bit more lighter shade of stain on my wood, so I just let it sit for maybe 10 seconds and wipe it off. And I'm just gonna show you how I did, and you guys could watch the video. It's really simple. So after staining the wood, this is how it looks like. I just let the stain stayed on the wood for maybe 10 seconds and then wipe it off, and this is how it turned out. I want to add a little bit more of a rustic feel to the frame. So what I did, I grabbed the sanding paper. You could use a little rougher grit than this, but I think this is 280 260 grit sanding paper, the one that I used. And what I did, I just sand off the edges of the wood just to have the more of a weathered rustic look to the frames. So sanding it's all done, I find it way better than the unsanded ones. It just looks more rustic. So now I'm going to assemble my frames, and I'm going to attach each and every piece using a Gorilla Glue. You could also find this at any hardware store, and I really like to use this glue because it's very durable and it's very like fast acting glue. So I just put a little bit, of amount on each end of the wood, and then I'm gonna stick it all together, and I'm gonna prep that up and use books to hold them together until it's fully dry out. So while my frames are drying, I'm gonna work on the base of my frame. I use those plywood. I cut them, put Mod Podge glue on it, and use that to stick my sign onto the wood. If you are planning to hang these signs, I suggest use a sheet of plywood just to make it a little bit more sturdy. But if you are just gonna lean it onto something, you could get away with using those thick post board from the dollar store. Cut them, stick your sign on it, and then attach it to the frame using a small finishing nails. So I'm gonna let that dry. Okay, so now that everything dried up, both my signs and my frames are all dried up, I let them sit overnight to dry. So it's time for us to assemble this. I'm going to use a 1.5 smooth finishing nails to secure my frames itself. So I'm gonna put 1 nails on each side. These are a little small signs, so 2 finishing nails would be enough to secure the frames. So everything are assembled now. So next what we're going to do, we're going to attach our signs onto the frame. I used a much more smaller, smooth finishing nails. I think this is the 3/4 size of a finishing nails. And I'm going to attach those signs onto the frames using this. It's up to you how many nails you're going to put, but I just put 1 nails on each side and each corner of the frame. Again, if you're planning to hang these signs, you could attach hinges at the back of it for hanging. I just settled for this because I'm going to put it on my shelf.